Welcome everyone. Today I have a mega gambling guide for Path of Exile 2. Now looking behind me, I have made some interesting Excel calculations and also together with a collection of data. This Excel can also be dynamic. As you change the prices of items, it will show you the amount of items and also the breakpoints for different gamblings, which we'll be talking about on the second part. Now on the first part, before we say anything, let me show you guys some interesting results through gambling with gold and also chance orbs. So here what we're watching this is my friend Royal gambling for gamblers, and this happened not long ago, 1 to 2 days ago, and this is quite interesting. And let's have a look at the results. Now what you're seeing is this is over 120 of the amulets and also chance orbs, and he spent close to 30 divines in getting those items, and I'll be breaking down the cost and also everything related to this one. There you go. Did you see something interesting? Yes. Big thank you to Roy for sharing us the clips, and also we have a lot of different clips, a lot of different results of similar kind when gambling, and there's some good results, there's some not so good results. So that was 120 amulets and 30 divine gambled, and there you go, instrumentals, right? So this gambling method with chance orbs can work, but make sure you watch the next part to see the rates and everything related. So don't just buy the chance orbs and also amulets. I'll explain everything to you guys. So that was gambling through that was gambling through chance orbs. And let's have a look at gambling through vendors. So here we have another short clip of an extremely lucky case that was publicly live on YouTube. And I wanted to show you this one. So this is from the YouTuber Test over here, and he gambled 3 amulets and he found Astramantis. Yes, it is a bit ridiculous, and this is an extremely lucky case. Again guys, don't go gambling amulets with gold yet until you see the rates over here. So coming over here, you can see I have opened multiple tabs from different content creators, YouTubers. Together with my friend's gambling result, we have tons of data that is collected through gambling with gold and also chance orbs. And what I do is make sure you use the timestamps below, because this Excel will help you to calculate the breakpoint of gambling, and also it will give you additional rates, estimations, and also data that is related to both gold and also chance orb gambling. So first off, what are those forms of gambling and how does it work? In order to gamble with gold, you have to come over to this particular place. So come over to Act 3 and also come over to Zagaran's Refuge. This NPC only sells gambling items in those locations. It does not work in your hideout. So this is the basic of gold gambling. And as my game loads, what I want to do is I'll show you over here. So if you come on to over here, if you go buy and sell, you can see that she will be selling amulets for gambling and lots of other items. And the reason we're gambling for amulets is of course to try to get this particular piece of unique item, the Astramantis, which sells for close to 120 plus divines per item, which is incredibly powerful and also very expensive. Now at the same time, I'm sure you guys know about this, you can be using chance orbs and also stellar amulets. The chance orbs are currently selling for 6.5 exalt each, and also the stellar amulets are selling for around 1, 4 or 20 exalt each. So we're going to use some of the higher values in the market to have the initial data for the gambling cost for both the gold and also the chance orbs. Now one plus side about gold gambling is, notice I have about 2 million gold over here, is that as you play the game, especially for those of you that plays a lot of the game, you tend to build up a few million of gold, and you can't really spend the gold elsewhere. So gambling with gold with amulets can be potentially very, very profitable, as I explained to you guys. Yes, I have been buying a little bit of gold. We do have a video to teach you guys how to buy gold if you want to have a look. So in order to estimate the cost of gold, I'm using the rate of buying gold through other players in buying rare items. About 1 million gold will cost around 1 divine, and around 3 million gold will cost about 3 divine. And this is when you can gamble for about 100 amulets using 3 million gold. Similarly, if you're buying chance orbs or stellar amulets, this will cost you around 24 divines at least using those higher market values. Now, if you happen to have purchased those for much cheaper, you can see the price also goes down. So the first thing you want to learn about this Excel is it is dynamic. You can adjust for the price you're paying for items, and once you adjust to the price you're paying for items, the price will adjust accordingly. So if you're paying 6 exalt, you can see this changes in price, and this will show you how much you're actually paying through those numbers. And I'll explain to you guys as we go. And this is very good, because any stage of the game, as long as you change those values, it will show you the amount of price you're paying for 100 gambles. This Excel is dynamic, and what you want to do is you come over here, go to files, and then make a copy to make sure you can change the values in the Excel. So to summarize, to gamble with gold for 100 amulets, it's costing around 3 divines. If you're buying gold or if you're just using the gold you have, you will know the cost of the gold. To gamble with chance orbs and also stellar amulets, you are looking at around 24 divines using the current rates. Now the bigger question is, what are the payoff? So before we jump over to a lot of content creator starters and also summarize rates, let's come over here to the payoff. So currently the Astromantis is selling for about 120 to 150 divine. So I'm using a lower value for 120 over here. You can change this value to 150 and notice all the other values will change accordingly. So estimating Astromantis price is 120 divine. The breakpoint with gold gambling is actually 4,000 amulets, and this will break even. So if you get one Astromantis in 4,000 amulets, it actually breaks even. So that's just why gold gambling is extremely profitable if you know how to do it. Now the breakpoint with a current value with chance orbs and also stellar amulets, the breakpoint is about 500 amulets. Because those items are getting more expensive, this means in order to be profitable, you have to get Astromantis in under 500 divines, which is definitely doable. Once we look at my friend Royal's replays, he gambled 120 chance orbs, he got one Astromantis, and he made 90 divine profit. So now that we know the basic of how gambling works and what are the price of gambling and how you can use this Excel to calculate the rates for a breakpoint value, and of course guys, you adjust the price accordingly to the market price, how much you're paying for gold, or if you're not paying for gold at all, this is actually free. If you have gold spare lying around, you don't have to pay any cost for gold. But if you're paying for chance orbs or stellar amulets, which has to be the normal grade, those can be a little more expensive and time consuming to acquire those items. You use the dynamic values over here and this will adjust automatically for you. So now that we had a look at this part, I do not want to mislead you guys, because in the previous replays from my friend Royal, you can see that he was extremely lucky. Even with 120 gambled of the amulets, he was able to get one Astromantis. And we also have one extreme case over here from the other YouTuber Tails, which I actually pronounced his name incorrectly at the start. So yes, he got Astromantis in 3 gambling. Those can be some extremely lucky cases. So in order to provide you guys with more information, let's go over to some of the publicly posted replays of darters that is available in the Path of Exile 2 community. And if you want to follow those YouTubers and check out the channels, those links will be available in the links below and also on Excel. And again, big thank you for everyone to be sharing. I also have data from my friend CB, who spent over 6 million gold gambling, and he has made a profit, but not through Astromantis, which I'll teach you guys on the final part of the video. So this is how you get a really good resale price if you're gambling with gold. So firstly, coming over to MBX Extreme over here, you can see that through his videos, he spent over 10 million gold and he gambled a lot of amulets. Again, I do recommend in watching the video to see the excitement, to see the method of gambling, which is very quickly. They gamble those items, they stash them, they sell them, they keep doing this. So to summarize, 10 million gold over here from MBX Extreme, and then another 3 million gold over here from MBX Extreme. I have tallied the data over here. You can see through those 2 gambling sessions, our friend here actually did not find any Astromantis. But what you can notice in his video is, again, the selling price, the resale price of the crafted rare and also magical amulets can be very profitable, over 40 Exalt or close to 1 divine for those amulets. So I don't think he made any loss. Now, similarly, we do have some replays of my friend CB gambling with over 3 million gold. And you can see, I just fast forward a little bit, you can see tons of amulets being purchased. And here he's sorting those amulets out, stashing them, and then selling them correctly to make profit. Yes, he has made over 5 to 10 divine profits using those gambling methods. And this is something I want to share with you guys, is that even if you're not getting the right Astromantis, you can still be profitable using gold gambling. This is why it's important to understand how to use your gold and how to make additional currency for the gold you're not using, because you're mapping a lot, you're having so much gold. Now, finally, we do have the extreme case over here. Again, thanks for Tails for sharing this one. So Tails over here, you can see this short clip over here. This is actually sent to me by another friend. He's like, check this out. It is extremely lucky that he was able to gamble and hit Astromantis in 3 gambles, which does prove to us you can find Astromantis through gambling. But please guys, see the next part to see the raids and also reveals of how much gambling you needed through gold to even have a chance for Astromantis, because the chance of hitting Astromantis over here is much lower compared to the chance of hitting some random amulet that is probably a lot on the market with a much higher weighting. So when you're gambling, you're trying to get Astromantis, which has very low result, while the other ones have over 100 times more result. So this is something we'll talk about very soon as well. Now that we had a look at gold gambling, let's have a look at the chance orbs and also solar amulets. Again guys, you do need to have the basic white grid of solar amulets. It doesn't really matter the level, I believe, and you just need the chance orb plus this one. But this has a high poof factor. So what happens when you're gambling with gold is that you always get one amulet. This can be good and bad for a better resale value. But if you're gambling with chance orbs and also solar amulets, this can poof and disappear. So 90% of those items will not have a resale value. So keep that in mind. Now let's come over to some of the examples. So here we have a demonstration from 41 gamblings from Doc. And I'm just going to fast forward a little bit to show you guys over here. And you're going to see, and if you're watching the videos, do excuse the language. Some of them get really extreme and they do swear a little because the gamblings are not good. Because, you know, sometimes when you don't get lucky, everything poofs, right? You just swear a little bit, which is understandable. So you can see Doc over here gambled 41 amulets and he has gotten 1 amulet, and it is this one. This is the common one. And the rates are not great. So in terms of chance of gambling, 40 chance orbs and also 40 amulets, only 1 unique. And here we have another content creator over here with AOD Games. And here, my friend over here is extremely unlucky. So what you can see is he gambled around 100 chance orbs. And you can see throughout his whole gambling, he only found 1 unique amulet, and that is not the right one. So here, 100 chance orbs, and this is only 1 wrong unique. Now let's keep going. We do have another big gambling session, and this is Desmond says over here. So he gambled 148 stellar amulets, and you can see he was trading this with their friends and trying to gamble them, and they were probably doing this live on stream. And just to give you guys another summary, again, I do recommend you watching the videos and also the actions while they're gambling. He was able to find 6 amulets, but all 6 of those amulets were the wrong ones over here. This is why we need to look at those rates. So those 6 amulets he found are the not correct ones. So 148, he found 6 wrong amulet. Now, finally, of course, the winning case. So this is what happened to my friend Royal, and this happens about a day ago, as you can see. So if you haven't seen Royal's videos, he posts some of the strongest builds and also the most crazy luck in the game. So definitely check out his YouTube channel, because I've been learning a lot of cool builds with infinite blink and also cool spark mages. So right over here said he spent around 30 divines to get those materials. It is not cheap. The market price are going up, and likely Royal was probably buying them for a higher price just so he can buy them quickly. So over here you can see he gambled 120 of the amulets, and around the midpoint he did hit Astromantis, which is very lucky. And just to summarize his numbers, 120 gambled amulets with 1 Astromantis and also 4 other unique items, which again are all of those amulets over here, as you can see. So what are the rates and what are the numbers now that I went through of those data? I'm sure you guys want to know this. But before we jump over to the rates, guys, please be aware, those are still very limited data samples and also things I found in the internet and also through my friends and everything my friends has shared with me. So my friends has been gambling 3 million each of the time. And even though he's not making YouTube videos, he's recording and also sharing the data with me. So in that sense, we can have a rough estimate. Again, disclaimer guys, very limited data and the sample can be biased too. Sometimes players will only post their massive gambles if they win. Sometimes players won't be posting those samples if they lose. So this is an estimate. With gold gambling, we're estimating around at least 30 million gold for over 1000 amulets to have a solid chance of hitting Astra Mantis. If you're buying those gold, it will cost you around 30 plus divines, and your estimated profit when you're selling the Astra Mantis is around probably 90 divine if you're lucky, or maybe 60 divine if you double this value to 60 million gold. One of the highlights which I want to share with you guys at the final part of the video, and yes, I am planning to make multiple crafting videos to teach you guys how to craft the amulets you get and how to craft extremely valuable items with a beginner's guide and also advanced crafting guide. So make sure you stay tuned for the future videos. So coming back, the highest resale value of all the amulets the players have acquired is extremely high. You can see that over here, MBX Extreme over here actually had a lot of amulets. He crafted some of them, and I think on the YouTube video, he actually resold them, one for like over 30 or 40 Exalt. So this is why I am going to summarize, or I guess I'm going to highlight this part. It is actually quite profitable if you have the spare gold as you play the game, and then coming over to the gambling. I'll try to do a few at the end of the video. And the profitableness is because it's cheaper to gamble with gold. Sometimes it costs you nothing for gold, and the potential payoff can be massive if you hit the right one. Now, I am not saying that you can be as lucky as some of the players we saw over here with Tails over here. With 3 gambles, you hit it? I don't think so. Not most of us are that lucky. Expect around 30 million gold or 60 million gold spent to have a good chance of Astra Mantis if you're gambling with gold. Now, if you're gambling with chance orbs, well, the opportunity cost is extremely high. You can be selling those orbs and also selling the stellar amulets for a lot of price. Everyone's trying to buy those so they can gamble. So what are the rates? Looking at the data over here from the content creators and also my friend, around 400 to 500 amulets at least. So this means it will cost you anywhere from 90 to 120 divines, and you might even make a loss because it is not guaranteed even with 500 amulets to get Astra Mantis. And because those items will poof the moment you click them, so majority of them poof, right? So you don't get a resale value. So the resale value is almost 0 for those amulets. You either hit the jackpot like my friend over there, or you don't. And if you don't, there's no resale value. And you can see those are my current estimation of the rates. Again guys, if you are gambling, I do advise you consider your options, and gambling might not be the best RNG, but if you're doing this, if you have the data, make sure you share with us in the comments below, or you can directly message me through Discord, and I'll be updating this rate guide for you guys in more data and also more better estimates. So to summarize the second part, what should you do if you want to go gambling? Well, I would recommend gold gambling, as you guys can see with all the, I guess, I'm pretty biased with gold gambling because I think it is profitable. My friend has made quite a bit of gold just gambling with them, and then he lists those on the market, and then he sells them for about 10 Exalt, 50 Exalt, 1 Divine, 2 Divine each with the right amulet. See the next video that I'll be posting to teach you guys how to find amulets and also how to craft them to make currencies. So yes, the gold gambling is potentially or very likely profitable if you do this correctly. And for the chance orb gambling, when is this profitable is when you start to change the values. If you can get a chance orb for let's say 6 Exalt each, and if you can buy the standard amulets for about 5 Exalt, notice that all of a sudden the values changes. You have much bigger room for breakpoint, and this means you can afford more amulets to hit the jackpot. But of course guys, at the same time, if you're paying for higher values and if you're paying for much higher values, it is not as profitable. Now if the price for Astra Mantis goes to 150 divine, it is also potentially more profitable using those above method. Now over here I do want to bring up something that is shared to me by some of my friends. And you can see in majority of the cases when gambling, you either hit this amulet, which is kind of worthless with 1 Exalt, or you hit this amulet with Astra Mantis. You can see that this amulet has over 4,500 matches, while this one only have 41 matches. So what that means is, maybe the rates for those amulets are 100 to 1. But I do think this is an extreme factor, and this can be related to withholding bias because people with Astra Mantis are using those and not selling them, while people with this amulet are selling it a lot because they gamble and they don't get the right one. So by my estimates, maybe the rates for Astra Mantis to the other unique is about 1 to 5 1 to 50. It can be as low as 1 to 10, but I don't think that's the case. So if you guys have any insights on the rates or the weightings for the uber unique Astramantis versus other amulets, you can let us know in the comments below. So this is just my estimations using the availability of the data over here and also data over here for a small estimate. Now, before we finish the video, it wouldn't be a good video if I don't try some myself, right? So you can see I have 2.3 million. I'm gonna try about 10 amulets and let's see how we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more. Okay, so I got those amulets. Let's have a look what we got. I got this one, not so good. I also want to teach you guys how you can potentially be rolling for those amulets. So, okay, I got 2 of the plus spirit one. That can be good. This one is so-so. And this one is not great. This one is so-so. So put this one over here, this one over here, so-so. Okay, nothing too dramatic. This rarity is actually not bad. So once you have gambled those amulets, they don't have the biggest resale value. So what you can do is you can come over here to look into crafting those. So for the blue ones, you can add 1 more to them. There you go. And after that, this is a very basic way because it's not worth it to overly invest. So for the other ones, I'm gonna make them rare. And this way, notice that we have a lot more affixes. So here, this one has increased evasion, increased item quality. This one could be good. So we put this on the side and I'll decide if I want to exalt this. Now this one has spell damage, strength, cold, and spirit. This can potentially be good. This one has critical damage bonus, energy shield. It's a so-so. So what you can now do is you can filter those amulets and to see if any of those is worth it to exalt. And this is when you increase the price of those amulets. I do recommend watching the future videos which I'll explain everything in details with this beginner's guide together with how to make currencies when crafting amulets and also rings. And then after this video, I'll post an advanced guide of how people make over hundreds and also divines using additional method. Now, if you do happen to have amulets like those, well, you can consider over here, I have some examples, you can consider adding those. And notice this one has 2 spirits. So I'm actually inclined to actually adding another exalt onto this. So let's see how we go. 1, intelligence not bad. Oh, rarity is not bad. Oh, this one could be good. So it has some good stuff. I'm gonna throw this into my divine stash and that will go. So again, if you do happen to find those base amulets, you can try your luck with alchemy orbs. And there we go. Oh, this one hit the spirit, not bad. See, this is something I want to share you guys with the future videos, and make sure you stay for that one, because this is just a little teaser how you can be turning your gambling amulets into additional currency and also selling those for 10, 50 exalt or maybe 1 divine. Now, before we finish the video, guys, again, a big warning, those rates are estimates and we need more data. So this is why if you get more data, make sure you share with us on Discord or in the comments. And on top of that, gambling is very RNG. Sometimes you see players hitting the biggest jackpot with only 1 to 2 attempts. Sometimes you see players spending 30 divine and hitting 120 divine. Other times, you gotta be aware players are losing out on currency. So gambling can lose you currency. Please don't see this video as a recommendation to gambling. And myself personally, I only do gambling to the minimum. And I think it's fine to do a little bit, but do not see it as your only way of making profits or making currencies in the game, because it is very random. So please be aware, guys. Now, hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters, and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Mattjestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least 1 Path of Exile video a day, and this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos. Now, before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so, because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.